this framed properly. Okay.
Folder of information just in case I have to refer to it.
Okay. Very smart lady.
So. Is it on right now or no?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
We're just preparing.
Okay.
Oh, well, this will all be cut out. Yeah, of course.
Excuse me.
It's a great poster you have of Langston Hughes.
Yeah, that's a nice. That was a stamp that was issued
That's so cool.
several years ago. So. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Set these out so that
You can refer to them. And then as much as possible, if you could just look right at the little thing.
Okay.
Or look at me too, you know, whatever's more comfortable. Alright, so the first question, something that I don't really understand that I'm hoping you can help me with is, with kind of the rumors about the post office being closed, who makes that decision to have it stay open or to close? Is that the U.S. Postal Service? Is that, you know, the state legislature? Who makes that decision?
That's done by the Postal Service. But before, let me just kind of define so that people understand, because we have post offices and then we have processing and distribution centers. Okay, so the post office, when you hear post office, a lot of people connect post offices where you go to buy stamps and you go to mail packages and letters. That's the post office. Then there's the processing and distribution facility where your mail is processed. Your letters come in, your packages come in, they get canceled, they get sorted to where they're supposed to go, either locally or throughout the world. Okay, so when we talk about post offices closing, we have to make sure that we're understanding what we're talking about. As far as Lansing is concerned, they're looking at the consolidation of the processing facility, okay? And that is the part where the stamps are canceled on the letters and the packages, that type of thing. To better understand this, last year, Postmaster General Donahoe, he had looked at our infrastructure, and I don't know if everyone knows this, but since 2006, our mail volume, first class mail volume, has been declining drastically, and this is what pays our checks, okay? And a lot of people think it's taxpayer funded, but the Postal Service is not taxpayer funded. We are funded strictly off of postage. So when the first class mail volume declined, this impacted our operations. So Postmaster General Donahoe looked at our infrastructure, he looked at the operations, and he looked to see where it could be shrunk down, okay, to save us some money.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is a processing center then. This isn't
It's
a post
office and a processing center. Okay, so it's 2 in 1.
Okay, cool. So, you know, if this post office / processing center does close, where would the mail then be sorted and processed, I guess?
Okay, so what we're talking about is consolidating the operations of the processing center into the Grand Rapids Processing Center, okay? And that's where the mail will go. Mail will still come in here. It'll be a small hub, and then trucks will transport it to Grand Rapids to get canceled, postmarked, that type of thing. And if mail has to be delivered back here in Lansing, it'll come back here in Lansing. Or if it's going to other parts of the country, then it will leave from Grand Rapids going to other parts of the country.
Okay, so how will that affect the people who work here if that just turns into, from this operation, into just the small hub?
Well, that's something that's being worked out with the local labor unions. They're working on that aspect of it, so I don't have a good picture of what's happening because that's something between the employees and their unions, and the unions are working with our labor department in that.
Okay. So how do you think that this will affect the residents who live in Lansing who might be getting their mail, you know, like 2 or 3 days later than they would?
Well, for people who are mailing, you know, to different places, like, let's say, like outside, or even locally here, it just may mean that they may have to put their mail in maybe a day or 2 earlier, okay, for the birthday cards they want to send out, you know, packages they want to send out. It just going to require just a, you know, maybe a day or 2 advance to put it in the mail, as opposed to at the last minute that they would, okay. But we think that people will understand what needs to be done. because we need to look at our financial picture and try to regain our financial visibility back for the Postal Service. We need to really get back into the point where we're standing on losing. If nothing is done, we're standing on losing at least 20-something billion dollars by 2015-16. So we need to look at our infrastructure. We need to look at our operations where we can cut back on. If we don't need as many machinery, if we don't need as many facilities to process our mail, then that's what we need to look at. We're also looking to Congress because there's some other things that Congress can help us with as far as the pre-funding of the federal retirees health benefit program and their retirement system as well too. So we're looking to Congress to help us with that as well. Okay. Postmaster General Donahoe also went before Congress to try to get them to look at going from a 6-day delivery to a 5-day delivery. Nothing has been done on that yet as well either. So there's several initiatives that are out there to try to help our financial picture.
Okay, cool. If there are any citizens who want to, like, you know, voice their opinions that they want, you know, this processing center and post office to stay open, how can they voice those concerns?
They can voice those concerns to the Postal Regulatory Commission in Washington, D.C. That's how they can do that.
Okay, awesome. Those are the only questions I have. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Just that people understand, a lot of people, their picture of the post office is coming in, buying stamps, you know, coming in, mailing packages. And if that's all you know about the post office, then it's very easy to get the picture in your mind that, oh my God, you know, what's going to happen, you know, so forth and so on. But there's a whole lot more behind the scenes that people do not know and people do not understand. And lots of times when you don't understand the behind the scenes, it's very easy to voice opinions about, you know, what things could have been done and how things should have been done and, you know, that type of thing. So we're still going to be here. Our plan is to be here for the American public, to service them as far as the Postal Service is concerned. But we'd have to do just like any household would have to do if they have to, you know, keep their budget intact. We have to do those necessary things, you know, to keep our household running, as it were.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.